Hi, this is Alvin with ccbtutorials.com, and in today's tutorial I will show you how to create a MySQL database and table using your Bluehost account. If you're not using Bluehost account but you're using some other service provider, some other web host, be sure that you're using MySQL. And if you would like to use Bluehost, simply click the link in the video description below. And just full disclosure here that if you decide to click the link in the video description below, that I will receive a affiliate commission from you clicking the link and setting up your Bluehost account. Or if you already have a Bluehost account, then hey, we can go ahead and log in and get started. So I'll log in using my account here. And once you're logged in, depending on whether or not you've closed this welcome message, if you're using Bluehost, this welcome message will appear. You can close it out, and one of the first things that you'll want to do is click the database tab here under the main features menu. Scroll down and you'll be shown the database section here, which has MySQL databases, MySQL Wizard, PHP admin, remote MySQL. For today's tutorial, we will deal with the MySQL databases and the PHP MyAdmin selection. So let's go ahead and click MySQL databases, and you'll be taken to the MySQL database area here, which you can go ahead and create your new database. For this tutorial, we'll use CCB data, and you can tell that it's not been used before as a database, so you'll see a green check mark there. If I entered in another database that was already set up, it would show a red X. And because you're using Bluehost, and probably depending on your web host provider, you may see that it will append a name here to your database. So go ahead and click create, and we can see that our database has been added successfully. So we can click go back, and now what we'll need to do is create a user. So we'll call it CCB manager. And once again, if I were to add a user that was already added, or had been added previously rather, then you would see a red X here. Because this user is new, then you see a green check mark, meaning that we can proceed. So I'm just going to add a simple password here. You'll want to be sure to write it down. If not, no worries. Once you click the create here, you'll see that it will show you the password. You can also use the password generator button here should you not be able to create a password. Also, you can see the green check marks indicating that both of the passwords are the same. You can also see the strength indicator, and you want a pretty strong password. I'm just going to go with strong for now, and we're going to click create, and you can see that the user has been added, and you can see the password. You'll want to keep note of your password just because we'll need it here momentarily when we go to log into PHP MyAdmin, as well as you'll need it in the future. So we click go back, and one of the last things that we need to do is associate the user or add the user to the database. You can see here that the user is already set to CCB tutor underscore CCB manager, as well as the database is CCB tutor underscore CCB data. So we can simply click add. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to give all privileges. Now, in most cases, you probably never want to add all privileges, but this will depend on what type of user that you're setting up for your database. If you're using more of a front-end user, so essentially you're just wanting to run certain SQL privileges such as delete, insert, and update, then you would only select delete, insert, and update, or check those boxes and then uncheck all other boxes. But like I said, for the sake of this demo, we're just going to use all. We're going to click make changes, and you can see that the user CCB manager was added to the database CCB tutor underscore CCB data. So we go back, and now we're going to go back and click the home, and again the welcome screen will pop up. You can choose to close out of it, as well as choose to select the box there at the bottom to no longer have it pop up anymore. So once again, go to the main features menu bar, click database, and now you are ready to scroll down to the bottom of the page, and we're going to log in using phpMyAdmin. So select that, and it will open to another window here that'll log you in, and you'll want to enter in the user that you set up, which for our case we use CCB manager, and enter in the password, and voila, you're into phpMyAdmin now. So one of the first things that you'll want to do, if you notice that we created a database originally called CCB tutor underscore CCB data. So you can click the databases here in the main menu. It'll take you to a list of databases. So if we have more than one database, you would see those listed here. For the sake of this tutorial, we'll go ahead and click our CCB tutor underscore CCB data, and we are ready to now create our table. So just for this, I'm just going to use name the table test, and for now I'm just going to add one column. Click go. It now has added that column for us, and so now we can add what we want the column to be named. For this, I'm just going to use PKID. Really, you could spell it all the way out and say primary ID. Put it as an int, and we'll go with unsigned here. We'll say it's primary. Scroll over to the right, select auto. This stands for auto increment. And so if you just hover over it, it will give you a title, auto increment. And then you can choose what storage engine type that you want to use, whether it's MyISOM or NODB. Just for this example, I'll just go ahead and leave what the default was, and we'll click save. And once you click save, then you'll notice here to the right hand side, because we're already selected the CCB tutor underscore CCB data, then once you create your table, it'll show your table to the left hand side. If you need to create another table, you can click here to create a table, or you can essentially just add the next table here, the number of columns you need for that table, and click go. But you can now see that our test table was added. If we click that test table, then it will take us to the structure of that, and you can then see the column that we added was a primary ID column. You can see that it's unsigned, auto increment, and then it uses the primary key. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, we will cover in future tutorials how to go about preparing your data to be migrated from your old service provider to CCB or your church community builder account. You can migrate those by hand, but I'm pretty sure that that's not what you want to do. So in future tutorials, we'll show you how to go through, prepare your data, and then how to insert that data into your database table, as well as how to take and use your database table to programmatically retrieve data from the database table, and then take it and actually insert it into your CCB account. And so we can move, tens, hundreds of thousands of people versus having to manually enter those by hand. So that's it. And like I said, if you ever need to get back to that database, you essentially can go from the home or the cPanel and just click your database, go to the bottom, and once you click and it turns blue, then you essentially just click either MySQL databases or the MyPHP admin if you'd like to access that database and create additional tables. And so that's it in a nutshell. I hope this tutorial has provided you with insight of how you create a MySQL database and table. And if you have any additional comments, please feel free to add those comments down below, and do feel free to visit us at ccbtutorials.com. There's a host of tutorials there to help you not only migrate your data to or from CCB, but as well as just to manage your CCB account, as well as some tips and tricks for how to best use CCB. So thank you again, and be on the lookout for the next tutorial.